Jules ASMR, and welcome back to my channel. So I know, oh my gosh, I've been gone for a very long time. I didn't even check to see how long it's been actually, but I know it's been like since 2024, right? So I'm gonna have to check after this video to see the exact date of the last time I uploaded, but it's been a long time. And as you guys know, I was in college. I was in my last year, and right before I left off with you guys, I was gonna start my internship for elementary school education, and so I did that, and I finished with that. And oh my gosh, it was a good experience, but it was very stressful, and it was very, very long hours. So I worked at the after-school program, and I actually got my internship at the same elementary school that I do the after-school at. So I would get into the internship at like 7:30 in the morning, and then that would end at 3:30, and then I would go straight to after school until 6 p.m. So it was like 11-hour days basically. And when I would get home, I would have to do homework on top of that too, and like make lesson plans and all that stuff. So like by the time I was done with everything, it was time to eat, and then all I had time to do was go to bed. And I'd be like exhausted obviously, because I went from only doing after school, which was only 4 hours a day, to doing something that was 11 hours a day, and then having homework on top of that. So it was a lot, but I'm happy that it's done, and I'm happy to be graduated. So right now we are doing summer camp at after school, and this is my last summer because I graduated. And I am waiting for my teaching certification to come in. The state has to like look through all my credentials and all my testing, and then they have to say if I'm approved to become a teacher or not. So I'm just waiting for them to do that, which there's no reason why they would tell me no, because I passed all my tests and I made good grades. So, but yeah, so once I get that teaching certification, then I can start applying for teaching jobs. And the elementary school that I do after school at, I don't think they have any teaching positions available right now, which a lot of people want me there, like the other teachers and like even the principal wanted me there, but I don't have my certification yet. So even when they had spots available, he wasn't able to hold the position for me, and I didn't expect them to either. I get it, but then they said if more spots open up that I'd be the first to know. But honestly, a small part of me wouldn't be upset at all if I did not get a job at that school, simply because I've been working after school there for the past 5 years, and it's the only job I've ever known, and I don't plan on staying in this town I am in right now. So I kind of want to know what it's like to start fresh at a job, not knowing anyone really, because even at the after school program, my older brother worked there. That's how I got the job. And then a lot of people I went to school with worked there too, so I pretty much knew everyone that I worked with. And then it was the same school that I went to elementary school to, so I pretty much knew all the staff there as well. So I think it would be like a good experience for me to go to a different school where I don't really know anyone, and get to like learn how to build relationships, work relationships and stuff. I mean, I'm a pretty like people person type guy, but I don't know if that's just because I'm in an environment that feels so safe to me that I easily open up and talk to strangers. But then again, if I do get a job at the elementary school I do after school at, then that'd be nice because it's right next to my job, and I already know the ins and outs of the school. I interned there, so I already know what like the teaching aspect of the school is, and I know everyone really, really wants me there, and I know my family wants me to go there too, even though they wouldn't really I stopped filming because it was like so many things happened at once. So I live in Florida, right? I forget if I told you guys this. Again, sorry if I'm repeating myself, if I'm wrong with the time I stopped filming, but I live in Florida and it snowed in January, and like my whole road was iced, and my mom decided to go on a walk by herself that day to like, oh, that was the Febreze thing, I have to remember that I have that now, but she wanted to go on a walk by herself in our neighborhood, and like 10 minutes later, my neighbor comes knocking on my door saying that he thinks my mom broke her leg. So then we go out there and she's on the ground crying. So then they had to come get her in a truck because my car couldn't drive on that road because they were icy. So one of my neighbors used his truck to come and get her, and then drove her to the end of our dirt road because the ambulance had to come and get her, and they couldn't drive down our road, or else they would have probably gotten iced, like drifted off because the ice, because it's so heavy. And they were only salting the main roads, not like the dirt roads or neighborhood roads. So yeah, and then she did break it. She broke her leg in 3 places, and she's still not walking fully yet. It said it would take like 6 months, so around like July is when she should be like back to normal. But since like she was putting so much weight off her leg, she now hurt the other leg just by like so much more weight. She's been walking on it, so she still is like a little wobbly, so she'll probably need to like just get used to balancing that weight out again, which I get. Apparently a lot of people have that issue when they break a leg. So oh yeah, but back to my dog. So in the same month, my dog ate a sock, and he's never like eaten a sock before to my knowledge. Like even with his chew toys, he'll like stuffed animals, he'll chew them and rip them apart, but he doesn't like eat the stuff inside, or he doesn't try to eat like the fabric. He'll eat like bones and all that stuff, and grass and leaves, and then dog food and all that stuff, of course. But like he just randomly ate a sock, my mom told me. So then we look it up, and it's like, oh, it could get caught in his like stomach and make him like die. So then we called the vet, and they were like, oh, you need to bring him in immediately. So we did, and then they x-rayed, and then they found a little piece of metal in the sock. So they were like, oh, we can't make him throw up because that piece of metal could cut his esophagus or stomach lining. So we have to do surgery. And oh my god, that's my baby. My dog is my baby. It's the first dog I've ever owned myself. And I was beside myself. I was crying every night because it was such a procedural thing. So he had the stomach surgery that day, but then he wouldn't eat afterwards for like 2 days, so they didn't take him home yet because he wasn't eating on his own. And then finally we brought him home, and we couldn't get him to eat. Like, we would put the food, we tried to force it down, but he was not having it. And obviously he was taking medicine too, and he has to eat with this medicine. So then we called the vet, and they were like, bring him back in. So they kept him again for another couple days, and I was there all the time, and I was working too and trying to do my internship. So I was just back and forth, and I was going crazy, quite honestly. Like, I was losing my mind because I wasn't getting any sleep, and then when I was awake, I was back and forth doing things. But then he got better, and oh my gosh, I just look at him now and I go, you better not do anything like that ever to me ever again, because I wouldn't survive losing you. I wouldn't. Not yet anyways, I'm not prepared. He's only 5. And then this is horrible. So he does not like other dogs, and we know this. He was attacked when he was a puppy by a bigger dog, so now he does not like other dogs, which is fair. And we keep him separated from other dogs, and we don't let him get near other dogs. But my Nana was letting him out, and I guess she forgot to close the fence. So my neighbor was walking their dog, and my dog caught sight of that dog, and like they had a stare down. And then my neighbor brought their dog onto my yard, which, I mean, I'm not going to blame them because it's not their fault that my dog attacked theirs, but my dog's very territorial, so whenever he saw her dog get on our yard, he was like, oh no, I need to get them and attack the dog and send the dog to the vet. And that was a huge thing because I was so worried that my neighbor was gonna want him to be put down, and I would have also had to been put down. Not because I would have been violent or mean, just because I wouldn't have been able to survive that. But my neighbor was super understanding, and I've known her since I was a kid. Me and her daughter grew up together, so. And I went down to her house later that day and apologized and said I'm so sorry and that we would pay for the vet bill. And she was super understanding and said she really appreciated that I came down to the door and spoke to her. And her dog's okay now, they're all fine. So I'm glad that turned out to be okay. But I'm trying to think, I think that's my major updates. So right now, summer camp, and I told my boss 6 months ago that since it's my last summer as a college student, I wanted to take a lot of time off during summer camp, and she agreed, and she was like, of course, I'm just happy that you're still gonna be there for summer. I'll take you any day I can. And literally, yesterday I asked off because I wasn't feeling well, and she tried to still get me to come in. And it took everything in me to not be like, yes, I'll come in, but I just want to remind you that we had an agreement that I'd be taking a lot of days off this summer, and you haven't really been following through with your side of the agreement, because every day she complains to me about how one of my coworkers is asking out for work and stuff, and she's like, yeah, that means you and I are gonna have to build up or do their work that day. You're just assuming I'm gonna be there to make up the slack for everyone else, even though you know that we agreed that I would already be taking some time off, and I'm the assistant and I've been there way longer than any of my other coworkers, and I'm the only one that's graduated college and don't really owe that place anything. I could just walk out the door right now if I wanted to. So the fact that I'm being nice and willing to work for her this summer instead of piecing out like one of my other coworkers did who graduated, she's really taking advantage of that. And I don't want to be mean, because I'm not really the type to speak up about that kind of stuff, but my coworkers, they're in my ear telling me I should, so I don't know. We'll see if she keeps pursuing that I work all these extra days, even though we agreed I wouldn't. But now my hours are a lot more available, so that's hence why I'm able to film the video right now. But I want to say thank you. I mean, I still see a comment every now and again, and I really appreciate that, because that means you guys are thinking about me and checking on me. And I did think of you guys all the time. If not every day, it was every other day. I thought about you guys and thought about coming back to the channel, but it was just not the time. And I knew that if I were to come back, I would just have to go away again. So, but I think, at least for the summer, I can't promise what things will be like once I start teaching, because that would be a whole different type of schedule. But at least it will be consistent, and I will be able to build a schedule for filming off my teaching schedule. But obviously I won't know what that will be like until come late July, early August. So, but I hope you guys are excited that I am back. I am excited to be back. But yes, if you have any video ideas that you want me to do for the next videos, let me know, and I will do my best to do that for you. But I will see you guys in the next video.